Do you find yourself needing the TV to fall asleep every night? Maybe you tell yourself it's just for background noise. Maybe the silence feels too loud. Or maybe after years of this habit, your body doesn't know how to relax without it. But here's the thing, if you're over 60 and depending on TV just to fall asleep, your brain might not be getting the deep rest it desperately needs. The worst part? You might feel like it helps, but in reality, it could be the very reason why you're waking up tired, irritable, or foggy every morning. What feels like a comfort can quietly become a crutch, and if you don't address it, it can slowly chip away at your sleep quality, your memory, and even your long-term health. If you care about elderly wisdom, real senior health tips, and life lessons from the elderly that actually make a difference, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to comment below, where are you watching from? Let's talk about why this habit forms in the first place. Most seniors who fall asleep with the TV don't do it for entertainment, they do it for distraction. Distraction from racing thoughts. From loneliness. From aches. From memories. For many people over 60, nighttime is the quietest and most vulnerable part of the day. The house is still. The phone stops ringing. And that silence can trigger emotions you've been too busy to feel: grief, regret, fear, uncertainty. The TV becomes a buffer. A way to keep your mind just busy enough to slip into sleep, without facing the full weight of the quiet. And there's no shame in that. It's human. Take Eleanor, a 76-year-old widow from Iowa. After her husband passed, she started falling asleep in her recliner with the TV on. At first, it helped her feel less alone. She'd turn on an old western, or a cooking show and let it run until morning. But within a few months, Eleanor noticed she was more tired during the day. She couldn't focus while reading. She felt groggy after lunch. Her doctor said it was just age. But Eleanor knew better. The truth? Her brain was never fully shutting down at night. The blue light, the background noise, the flickering screen, it was keeping her stuck in shallow sleep. The kind where you doze but never restore. Here's what science tells us. TVs emit blue light, which disrupts melatonin production, the hormone your brain needs to feel sleepy and stay asleep. Even if your eyes are closed, your brain still detects light and sound in your environment. That means your nervous system is partially alert, not fully relaxed. It's like leaving one foot on the brake while trying to accelerate. Over time, this shallow sleep contributes to memory decline, mood swings, weakened immune function, and even increased risk of heart issues. Especially for seniors whose melatonin levels are already lower, sleeping with the TV on can significantly reduce time spent in deep sleep, the stage where healing, memory consolidation, and physical repair happen. And yet, breaking the habit isn't easy. For many seniors, the TV has become part of their wind-down routine. So the question isn't, how do I turn it off? The real question is, what can I replace it with that actually works better? That's where sound-based sleep cues come in. Your brain may want noise, but it doesn't need TV noise. What it actually responds best to is predictable, rhythmic sound that mimics the natural environment. Things like white noise, soft rain, ocean waves, or even the hum of a fan. These sounds help mask sudden background noises, while lulling your brain into deeper sleep cycles. Unlike TV, they don't have flickering lights or dramatic volume shifts that trigger micro-awakenings throughout the night. Eleanor decided to test this for herself. She bought a simple white noise machine, nothing fancy, just a compact device with ocean waves and light rain sounds. The first night without TV felt strange. Her body waited for the familiar glow, the moving voices, the mental distraction. But she stayed with it. After 3 nights, she noticed she was falling asleep faster. By the end of the week, she woke up before her alarm for the first time in months, feeling clear-headed and surprisingly light. It wasn't magic. It was science and consistency. If you don't want to buy a white noise machine, you can use your phone or tablet, but here's the trick. Place it across the room, screen turned off, and use a timer so it shuts off automatically. The goal is to support sleep, not replace one source of stimulation with another. Many seniors also benefit from guided sleep meditations, audio recordings that talk you through a slow body relaxation, or gentle breathing exercise. These not only help you fall asleep, but train your mind to unwind instead of race. Another method that works is low-volume instrumental music, especially if it's slow, without lyrics, and played on repeat. Studies show that tempos between 60-80 beats per minute, like classical piano or ambient soundtracks, help lower heart rate and synchronize brainwaves to promote deep sleep. The key is predictability. Your brain needs a stable, repetitive pattern to let go, not the unpredictable highs and lows of dialogue in commercials. But here's something even more powerful than audio. Ritual. The body loves cues. When you repeat the same calming actions each night, your nervous system begins to anticipate sleep, not fight it. For seniors who are replacing TV with something healthier, a solid evening ritual is the bridge that makes it easier. That might include dimming the lights, drinking a warm non-caffeinated tea, reading a few pages of a calming book, and doing gentle nighttime movement like shoulder rolls or ankle circles in bed. These signals tell your body, we're done for the day. It's safe now. This shift might feel uncomfortable at first. You might reach for the remote out of habit. You might miss the background voices. That's normal. But remind yourself, just because something is familiar doesn't mean it's helpful. Eleanor kept a small note by her bedside that read, "Comfort isn't the same as rest." That reminder helped her push through the first few nights. By week 2, she no longer missed the TV. By week 3, her dreams returned. She said, "It's like my mind finally trusts the dark again." You don't have to give up comfort. You just have to redefine it. Because real comfort is waking up with energy. It's remembering why you walked into a room. It's having the focus to enjoy your book, your conversations, your day. And that starts with sleep that actually restores. Eleanor's story isn't rare. In fact, she's part of a growing number of seniors who are beginning to question their sleep habits, especially the reliance on TV, and asking what's truly helping them and what's quietly holding them back. For decades, routines form almost without thought. But the brain is never too old to learn something new. The key is to give it a better replacement. One that meets the same emotional needs, comfort, distraction, peace, but delivers far better results. Let's dive deeper into why TV is so addictive at night for older adults. It's not just the noise or the pictures, it's the structure it provides. Shows begin, develop, and end. The pacing gives your brain something predictable to follow. But the problem is, the content isn't designed to help you sleep, it's designed to keep you watching. Loud transitions, suspenseful music, sudden commercials, they all interrupt the very sleep you're trying to find. The TV might knock you out, but it won't let you stay asleep. That's where sound structure alternatives come into play. Have you ever tried listening to a sleep story? These are spoken narratives crafted with slow pacing, soft voices, and gentle plots that fade into nothingness. They're like lullabies for the adult mind. Researchers have found that these types of audio cues reduce nighttime awakenings and anxiety by gently distracting your focus, just long enough for your body to take over. Eleanor began alternating between ocean sounds and a guided sleep story about a peaceful countryside. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't exciting. And that was the point. It helped her forget the clock, the empty side of the bed, the way her mind used to chase memories she couldn't change. Some seniors ask, but what if silence makes me anxious? That's a valid concern. For many, quiet triggers old fears, being forgotten, being alone, not having control. But here's something powerful to consider. Silence is only scary when it's unfamiliar. When you pair silence with ritual and intention, it becomes sacred. So instead of reaching for the remote, try reaching for a small, comforting routine. It could be as simple as rubbing lotion on your hands, humming softly to yourself, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for. Each of these acts grounds your nervous system, lowers your heart rate, and gently prepares your mind to let go. There's also a physical side to this. Seniors often experience nighttime restlessness, twitching legs, joint aches, general tension in the body. Watching TV in bed may distract from these sensations, but it doesn't address them. Gentle movement, on the other hand, does. One of the most effective routines is what some call the 3-minute wind down. It goes like this. First, while seated, lift your shoulders toward your ears slowly as you inhale, and let them drop as you exhale, repeat 5 times. Second, then, do ankle circles, 10 in each direction per foot. Third, finally, place both hands on your stomach, breathe in through your nose, feeling your belly rise, and exhale slowly through your mouth, repeat for 1 minute. These simple actions ease joint stiffness, reduce shallow breathing, and quiet the racing thoughts that often sneak in once the lights are out. The movements also act as a transition cue. They tell your body, we're entering rest now. Now let's talk about light. Even if you mute the TV or lower the brightness, the blue light spectrum that screens emit interferes with melatonin production. Your eyes are connected to your brain's sleep clock, and they don't need to be open to register the light. That's why sleeping with the TV on, even if your eyes are closed, keeps part of your brain stimulated. Over time, this results in shallower sleep and less time spent in REM or deep stages. That's why so many seniors who use TV to fall asleep wake up feeling groggy, stiff, or like they've been dreaming all night, but can't remember anything clearly. If you're worried about letting go of the screen too quickly, start gradually. Set your TV on a timer to turn off 30 minutes after you fall asleep. Pair this with a comforting audio track so the silence doesn't feel jarring. Over time, reduce the timer until your body no longer needs the screen at all. It's not about cutting cold turkey, it's about retraining your system to fall asleep naturally. Let's meet Frank, 82, a retired train engineer from Ohio. For over 30 years, he fell asleep watching reruns of old detective shows. He said he needed the background voices, it made the room feel alive. But after his doctor warned him that his blood pressure and memory issues could be worsened by poor sleep, he decided to try something new. Frank set a goal of no TV after 9 p.m. He replaced his routine with soft jazz, a foot massage using warm peppermint oil, and a dim reading light. At first, he hated it. He missed the voices, the plot lines, the familiarity. But by week 3, something strange happened. He started sleeping all the way until sunrise. No 2 a.m. bathroom trip. No 4 a.m. tossing and turning. Just rest. He told his daughter, I thought I needed the noise to feel calm. But it turns out, I just needed something real to tell my body it was safe. That's the key. TV makes you forget, but real rest helps you remember. And at this stage in life, memory is precious. Another important thing to consider. What is your body doing while the TV is on? Most seniors fall asleep slouched in a chair, recliner, or twisted up in bed in front of the screen. This leads to back pain, neck tension, and headaches. It also impacts breathing. Lying flat with poor posture compresses your diaphragm and lungs, making shallow breathing more likely, which then signals the brain to stay semi-alert, not drift into deep sleep. By transitioning to a more mindful sleep space, your bed, your pillow, your ideal position, you set yourself up for a more complete rest cycle. Frank started propping his legs up with a small pillow, supporting his knees, and placing a warm towel behind his neck. His posture changed. His breathing improved. His body stopped bracing and started relaxing. If you live alone and feel uneasy in total silence, you can use environmental soundscapes, recordings of forest trails, birds in the morning, soft winds through trees. These mimic the comfort of nature, which humans are biologically tuned to respond to. There's a reason people sleep better in cabins, near oceans, or during rainy nights. These natural sounds signal safety to the primitive brain. And that safety is what allows the modern mind to surrender. The bottom line is this. You can fall asleep without TV if you give your body a better reason to rest. Comfort doesn't have to come from noise. It can come from rhythm, from breath, from intention, from little rituals that bring you back to yourself after a long, overstimulated day. Frank wasn't sure it would last. A part of him expected the TV to call him back eventually, like it always had. But something felt different this time, not because he had more willpower, but because for the first time in years, he had a reason to protect his sleep. He wasn't just falling asleep. He was arriving at sleep, fully, consciously, and peacefully. And he didn't want to lose that. His blood pressure dropped. His mood stabilized. He started remembering names faster. When his grandson came over and asked, "Grandpa, why don't you sleep in your chair anymore?" Frank smiled and said, "Because now I sleep like I earned it." That's the real power in breaking free from the nighttime TV trap. It's not about being disciplined. It's about being aware. About realizing that your body, especially after 60, is always asking for deeper rest, but the noise, the flicker, the constant stimulation from that screen, is keeping you just a little too awake all night long. So what does better look like? It looks like substitution, not subtraction. You're not punishing yourself by turning off the TV. You're replacing it with something your body can understand and benefit from. Like a warm compress across your eyes to signal darkness. Like a weighted blanket that adds gentle pressure and mimics a hug. Like slow back and forth movements with your feet under the sheets to create rhythm and calm. These aren't tricks. They're tools. Tools that help you come down from the day, instead of passively waiting to collapse into exhaustion. Let's talk about another common situation. Many seniors say, "I don't even watch the TV. I just need the voices to fall asleep." If that's you, consider this: what you're craving isn't television. It's companionship. It's the feeling of not being alone in the quiet. That's a very real emotional need. And there are healthier ways to meet it. Some seniors keep audio journals, recordings of their own thoughts from the day played back softly at night. Others use familiar recordings of family members reading stories or sharing memories. Some use voice-based apps that offer companion talk features, gentle, reassuring monologues designed to soothe, not stimulate. The point is, your body doesn't want TV. It wants comfort, rhythm, and closure. That's what helps you sleep. And the more you understand that, the more you can choose better. Let's look at Linda, age 71, from Georgia. She lived alone after losing her sister and found the silence unbearable. Her TV became a 10-hour sleeping partner. But after suffering months of poor sleep and memory issues, her neurologist suggested she try a media-free night wind down. The first few nights were hard. She cried. She reached for the remote more than once. But she stuck with it. She added lavender oil to her diffuser. She listened to low, looping flute music. She journaled one paragraph each night. And by the end of the second week, something shifted. She told us, "I didn't realize how much noise I had gotten used to. Now I crave the quiet. It makes me feel whole." Seniors are biologically more sensitive to stimulation. The older brain isn't less capable, it's more reactive. That means what you consume before bed carries more weight. A loud commercial, an action scene, a dramatic piece of dialogue, these stick around in your nervous system long after your eyes have closed. They raise your heart rate. They change your breathing pattern. And they reduce your body's ability to drift into REM or deep sleep. That's why you can sleep for 8 hours and still wake up tired. Because 8 hours of interrupted, shallow sleep is not the same as 6 hours of clean, undisturbed rest. So what else can you do to make sleep inviting again? First, reclaim your sleep space. Don't sleep in your recliner if you can help it. That chair is for watching, not resting. Make your bed the place where sleep happens. Add blankets that feel soft, not scratchy. Use a fan or gentle sound machine. Try blackout curtains. Everything in that space should whisper. It's safe to let go here. Second, treat sleep like a ritual. Set a timer to remind yourself when to begin your wind down, just like you would for a doctor's appointment or a favorite show. This small act tells your brain that sleep matters. Over time, it will respond by winding down faster. Third, replace visual input with sensory input. If your body is used to watching, retrain it with touch. Rub lotion on your arms. Stroke your own shoulders. Wrap yourself in a warm robe before bed. These tactile cues can be just as satisfying as screens, but they support rest instead of stealing it. Fourth, Add purpose to your pre-sleep routine. For many seniors, bedtime feels like the end of the day. But what if it could feel like arrival instead of shutdown? Read a quote that makes you smile. Listen to an old song that calms you. Write down one thing you're proud of from the day. Give your nervous system a sense of completion. That's what helps the body release tension. There's one more story to share. Norman, 78, from Oregon. A former radio host, Norman couldn't sleep without hearing a voice. Silence made him feel invisible. But TV kept him locked in a cycle of tossing and turning. His solution? He began recording his own voice, reading classic literature or short poems. He'd play them back softly at night. It felt like I was being reminded that I'm still here, he said. And with that simple shift, his nights became peaceful again. He replaced stimulation with self-soothing. And it worked. That's the lesson here. You don't have to fight your need for comfort. You just need to give it a new form, one that your aging body and brilliant mind can rest with, not resist. So tonight, when you reach for the remote, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this really helping me rest? Or is it helping me forget how tired I am? You deserve better than distraction. You deserve restoration. And restoration doesn't live on a screen, it lives in rhythm, breath, warmth, and quiet. If this video gave you a new idea, or reminded you that restful nights are possible, even after decades of poor sleep, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We share elderly reflections, life lessons from the elderly, and senior health insights every week. And we'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? What's one thing you'll try tonight instead of reaching for the TV remote? Here's to deeper rest, clearer mornings, and the peaceful nights you've always deserved.